Imagine walking into a church and hearing the pastor not only speak of Islam, but praise the devotion of Muslims and the sincerity of their worship. A pastor from Ghana did just that, challenging his congregation and his faith community to look beyond labels and dogmas, to see the values that guide millions in their lives. In this viral clip, a Ghanaian pastor steps up to his pulpit and offers an unusual yet profoundly sincere perspective. He doesn't choose to criticize, dismiss, or ignore. Instead, he holds a mirror up to his congregation, urging them to reflect on their own actions by drawing comparisons with Islamic practices. This approach alone has sparked conversations across social media, raising questions not only about interfaith understanding, but also about the weight of commitment and sincerity in faith.
The pastor begins with a tone that's almost provocative, saying, "There's nonsense spoken in churches today that no one would dare utter in a mosque."
You know, there is some kind of nonsense which is spoken only about churches and in church. Let me tell you people, there are things nobody dare do them in a mosque.
He highlights a deeply human trait, how easily we can take the sacred for granted. In his view, Christians who attend church weekly, some even reluctantly, seldom reflect on the rituals and reverence Muslims maintain for their places of worship. A pastor daring to suggest his congregation should observe the routines of a Muslim going to the mosque isn't exactly typical. But he asks them to imagine if they prepared themselves with the same devotion and self-cleansing rituals, removing their shoes and washing before entering the house of God.
If we were kneeling down, bowing down, kneeling down, bowing down, washing ourselves before we enter church, many people will stop church. What kind of church is this? I can't go through all this punishment. Remove my shoes, wash my feet, clean myself. Why? They'll tell you it's not necessary. The Muslim will do all that.
Now, some might wonder, is he saying one religion is superior to the other? Not at all. His message points to something far deeper. In his view, the actions of Muslims could serve as a reflection, showing Christians how powerful acts of humility and respect before God can be. The act of taking off shoes, washing, sitting on mats, and facing a singular direction with undivided focus is, in his opinion, a humbling experience that some churchgoers might benefit from, given how easily.
He points out the respect Muslims show for Prophet Muhammad by adding "peace be upon him" after mentioning his name. This tradition isn't simply about words, it's a practice deeply rooted in reverence. Imagine for a moment if each person was required to remember, respect, and reflect on their leaders or mentors in such a way. It's a reminder that reverence and gratitude can, and perhaps should, extend beyond oneself. It is in these small, consistent acts of respect that devotion becomes woven into everyday life.
And when they mention the name of Muhammad, they add some sacred words to it. When they refer to their imam, it's with maximum respect. Go to them and learn, and remove enkwasiasem from your brain. Go to them and learn.
And the humble alike, all kneeling shoulder to shoulder in the mosque, united before God. He uses this image to shake his congregation, questioning if they would ever exhibit such commitment. This is more than an appeal to religious practice. It's a call to embody humility, community, and discipline, qualities that transcend faiths and unite the spiritual with the practical.
Businessmen, rich people, you with your poverty. The Muslims are the people you see, rich man, contractor. He will park his car and go and kneel down and bow down with common members, commoners. And I don't think they also enter the mosque with their shoe.
One striking part of his speech is his critique of the modern Christian mindset regarding salvation. He boldly questions if confessing Jesus, but living carelessly and foolishly, is all that his needs are evaluated, and it is through both faith and action that one earns the mercy of Allah. This isn't to imply that one faith is above another. Rather, it's a call for both Muslims and Christians to reflect on their own paths, recognizing the responsibility and dedication that faith entails.
The clip concludes with the pastor advising his congregation to spend a week shadowing a devoted Muslim, not to convert or change religions, but to understand what true unreserved devotion looks like. He believes that this experience would shift perspectives and perhaps ignite a sense of purpose and discipline within them. It's a challenging suggestion, one that requires humility, openness, and courage, qualities that every person of faith, regardless of tradition, should strive to nurture.
If you want to become a good Christian, one day, just beg the imam to allow you to go to the mosque for 1 week. You will change. No. Listen, when you go there, 1 week, just follow a serious Muslim who will put away all their nice dresses and just wear white zalabia.
And so, as we hear this pastor's challenging words, let us ask ourselves, how often do we, in our own lives, pause to understand others, rather than to judge them? How often do we take the time to appreciate what we could learn from someone else's practices, even if they are different?
Subhanallah.